What's going on, everybody? So these pictures came out of Joe Biden's Halloween party. Joe and Joe Biden's Halloween party this year. Um, Joe Biden is at it again. Joe is biting again. He's always sniffing and biting babies and children, groping children and shit. There's like 100 videos and pictures of Joe Biden doing this. So he's at it again at this Halloween party. But not only that, there's all this symbolism at this Halloween party. So he's biting a child that's dressed as a chicken, which is symbolism, which is pedo symbolism, chicken. Jill is dressed as a panda, which is pedo symbolism, if you know what panda eyes means. There's another guy there dressed as a pizza, and his son is dressed as like a ninja turtle, which is also symbolism. Because the Ninja Turtles are reptilians that live in underground tunnels and eat pizza. And if you look at the Ninja Turtles movies, there's all types of like pizza symbolism and shit, pedo symbolism. If you really like study this shit and you look deep into it, that's what's happening in the Ninja Turtles movies. You can believe me or not. I know I used to love the Ninja Turtles too. I'm sorry. I know people love the Ninja Turtles, but that's what the Ninja Turtles are. If you ask me, my opinion. Okay, it's just my opinion. But but I study this shit. Like I look. If you ask me, that's what's happening with Ninja Turtles. But anyway, Jill is dressed as a panda, and then the one child is dressed as a chicken that Joe is biting. That Joe biting. Hey, what's up? So, and then like on these videos, it seemed like there's other videos where like people are bringing their children up to Joe Biden, and like he's just like groping them just like in front of everybody, and like whispering in like little girls' ears like weird shit and stuff. And it seems to me like these parents are like bringing their children up to be to be molested. That's what it looks like to me. Or like maybe they're not even actually their children or something. I don't know. But like it just seems like that. Like people just bring their children up, and then Joe Biden is like all touching them, grabbing on them, and like sniffing them and shit. And their parents are like laughing, and like it just seems like to me like they're just bringing them up to be abused. Like I don't know. But the one dude is dressed as a pizza, and his son is a Ninja Turtle costume. And then the other one, their child is dressed as a chicken. And there's probably some other shit. Like I haven't watched a video of it or anything. Like I haven't looked up the full thing or anything. But there's probably other symbolism in it. I wouldn't be surprised if there is, you know. But like, what the fuck? So once again, there's what is this? The millionth instance of Joe doing this, like biting a child, or like sniffing a child or whatever. This is like the millionth time this has happened on camera now. It just keeps happening. So, I don't know. I should have watched the full thing before I made this video to see if there's any other symbolism on it. But, yeah. If you know, you know. Like, if you know what panda eyes means. If you don't know, go look it up. I don't really want to. I mean, I could explain, but it's fucking gross. And then there's like, there's all this stuff like Joe Biden like eating ice cream and stuff. And there's the video of, and I think there was another thing where he was like talking about pizza one time. I'm forgetting, but there's like this video of Kamala Harris interviewing Obama from like, I think it was the last election or something, or what, I don't remember when it was. There's Kamala Harris interviewing Obama, and she's like, "What's this thing with Joe and ice cream? He loves ice cream." And then Obama is like, "Oh yeah, Joe goes deep on ice cream. Or Joe loves ice cream, yeah, and he goes deep on red sauce and pasta." And to me, that's just random as fuck. Like, he's just talking about ice cream, and then he just randomly mentions red sauce and pasta, which all three of those things are pedo symbolism off of the the list that came out with Pizzagate of all the like ice cream, pizza, walnuts, and pasta and red sauce and all that shit, chicken. He's like, yeah, Joe loves ice cream, and he goes deep on red sauce and pasta. Joe and Barry had matching pizza bracelets. Damn. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's crazy. So, yeah. And then, of course, there's the video of Joe Biden from like a few years ago where he's like talking about how he loves kids jumping on his lap. He loves having kids jumping on his lap and rubbing his hairy legs and shit. It's just wild, man. It's just like, he's just so out in the open with it. It's like, fuck. And it's like, do most people see these things, or do they ignore it, or does it go over their head, or what? So I think by now, people should be seeing these things. Well, back then, people should have been seeing these things. When he was saying that he loves children jumping on his lap and rubbing his hairy legs. I mean, that's pretty weird to say that. So, I don't know. I just wanted to get on and talk about that because I posted about it last night, but then I saw more things this morning with the chicken soup and the pizza and all that. So, I've talked about these things plenty of times. There's a million movies that have these symbolism in them, and like movies and TV shows and all the stuff that have these types of symbolism in them. Like there's a Simpsons episode where Homer is at Moe's bar, and there's like these children in the closet. He's like hiding kidnapped children in a closet or something. And then, or something like that. It's just like all these children in the closet, and then Homer shoots a pizza with a shotgun. He shoots a pizza box with a shotgun. And there's like all of Steven Spielberg's movies, and The Goonies, and like Poltergeist have like pizza symbolism in them and shit. Like the entire opening scene of The Goonies. I know everybody loves The Goonies. I'm sorry to shit on The Goonies. But like the entire movie is like pedo symbolism. The opening scene of the movie, especially, the entire opening scene of the movie is like pedo symbolism. Like subliminal pedo symbolism. It's got like pizza and ice cream chunk. It's got like the Asian kid who has a grappling hook on his belt, and it flicks out. It's like out of his belt. And then there's the scene where they're gluing a penis onto a statue, and they're child actors, and they wrote the scene out, and then they shot it, and then they edit it, and then they produce it, and then they put it out. Child actors. They created a scene, an entire scene, where they're gluing a penis onto a statue, and there's children. Like what purpose does that scene even serve? Like what do you, like why would you write that for child actors? You know? He seems like a friendly old man. That's crazy. And then Joe was always like telling little girls, he's like, don't date until you're older or something. He's like says shit like that to like to little girls all the time. And I don't know. So, but yeah, there's like all this symbolism like all over the place, like I said. And I could go on and on, but I've already talked about it a million times. But They just put this shit right in our face, and they put it in like advertisements too. Like I see advertisements all the time that have weird symbolism in them. There's a bunch of Wayfair ads that have weird symbolism, you know. No serious boyfriends till you're 30, yeah. And then there's a video of him where he was like, he said something like he was 30 and she was 12. We had a good time or something like that. Oh, excuse me. So, yeah, it's crazy. And then there's like Chrissy Teigen, you know, she's always saying weird shit. She has like a million tweets where she's saying weird shit. Um, but like I went on her Instagram page one time, and she has this picture of these little girls in like pajamas that have pizza on them. But I'll probably get off here now. Because I could keep going, like I said, but I don't want to. They just put all this shit in our face and have been for years and years. And it's a lot of the, like I said, a lot of uh, movies that have this type of symbolism are children's movies and like Pixar movies and stuff, Disney movies and like cartoons and like cartoons on Cartoon Network and stuff. Like there's an episode of Johnny Test. This is one of the craziest ones. There's an episode of Johnny Test where it says they're flying a helicopter, and it says on the side of the helicopter, CIA pizza. We deliver to evil secret islands. And then the Nickelodeon logo, Splat logo, is in the shape of Epstein Island. And then SpongeBob's address on his boat license was Epstein Island address. I think they changed the address, but it used to be Epstein Island's address. I'm pretty sure. So, and then Y'all remember those Balenciaga photo shoots from a few years ago? I like to remind people about that shit, because what the fuck was that shit? Did y'all see the Balenciaga photo shoots they had a few years ago with children? And there's all this symbolism. Like, there's pandas, and there's, I forget what else, but like a bunch of weird symbolism. There's like pandas, like a stuffed panda sitting on the shelf or whatever. A bunch of weird shit. And then there's like a book on the shelf that like you have to zoom in on it to even see it. It's like a book that like is by this guy who's like a artist that makes paintings of like children like playing with bloody body parts and shit. And there's also like a document on the table in the Balenciaga shoot that's like something about uh some like trafficking case, court case or something. It's like a reference to some like court case of like I think trafficking or like child porn or something like that. It's like a reference to something like that. That like again you have to zoom in on it to even see it. Like it's like really tiny. Like it's like really subliminal, but like this is the document sitting on the table. This photo shoot with children, and then the children's faces like they look like scared or something. Like they look like uncomfortable. To me, like they look like I don't know. So, share this video, get the word out. These things are happening right in front of our faces every day. So, I think that's the end of the video. Stay tuned to Creepbusters. That's all I'm going to say about that. Later.